What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of the WebBuzz podcast, the best podcast to get all the buzz, all the hype when it comes to digital marketing and getting your brand noticed online. And funny story, we're getting deep into it today. We're going to be talking a little bit about, as we roll into 2021, why online, but more importantly, what about online in 2021 is going to be so crucial and so important for you guys to pay attention to. Now, pretty easy to see, I'm flying solo today. Flying solo. So if you're on live, give us a little hello. Let me know in the comments that you're here. But it is already Christmas Eve over in Guam for Roger. So I told him, hey, brother, take a day, relax, enjoy some time with the family. I think he's got some fun stuff going with the kids. They're going to be setting some stuff up. Island Christmas, as he called it. When we had our meeting last night, they're doing an island Christmas with maybe some jumping things, a pool, I don't know, something like that. So anyway, I'm flying solo today. No biggie. We are rolling into the Christmas holidays. Roger's got a little bit of stuff with family. So I told him, hey, we'll take the reign. Don't worry about it. We're going to get in. We're going to talk about some important things about getting into 2021. Why you got to be focusing on the online side. What, more importantly, should we be focusing on in it? But first, on behalf of all of us here at the WebBuzz podcast, all of us at Top Results Consulting, myself, Roger, and the entire team, we want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. I know for us here on the mainland side of the United States, Guam being a piece of the United States, it's our early beacon to let us know that tomorrow's coming. Our Christmas holiday starts tomorrow, and we want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and even into the New Year seasons. We're not going to miss a beat. We're going to be right back next week, right before the start of 2021 on an episode. Roger will be back joining us most likely on that episode. But from the bottom of our hearts, everything, Merry Christmas. And be a safe holiday season. I know it's going to be a little bit different, very similar to Thanksgiving, may not be the same as normal. I know for my family, it's not going to be, the same, thanks to everything going on right now in the world and everything else, but we will get through, right? We will get through. So with that, if you guys are on live, feel free, throw a little hello, something or other down in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Join in as we get talking about some stuff. You got a comment, a shout out, something you want to say, by all means, throw it out. Let us know of everything or whatnot. And I see some folks throwing some comments in right now. Steven, what's up, my man? How's it been? Love the studio setup. It's one of my favorite things. Kind of really built out the office and helped get the studio side in there. I see Tamra. I always butcher that one. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you for chiming in. But so what are we going to be getting in here today? Why are we talking about leading into 2021? Well, if you've been sleeping, it's almost the end of 2020. I get it. The year that we thought would never end, the year that we thought would take forever to end, all of the different things coming in over the course of the start of this year. It was like, is it ever going to end? And I love all the little Merry Christmas to everybody and all that stuff popping up in there. But we are coming to an end. And this has been a topic that Roger and I have really been spending a lot of time over the last couple of weeks kind of talking to our clients about. Not just about, hey, the year's coming to an end, but really, how do we game plan? How do we shift? How do we get ready for 2021? I was actually doing another episode of recording a podcast earlier today, and this topic came up where a lot of businesses were hurting. A lot of people, a lot of singlepreneurs, right? The solopreneur type thing, more advanced businesses all the way across the board. They were struggling throughout 2020. And it really wasn't 2020 that necessarily made them struggle. and this is a big point to kind of, let sink in here for a second. I understand there was some shutdowns. There's been shutdowns. We're still shut down in some areas. I understand there's been some restrictions and a lot of things changed and this kind of stuff. And a lot of people are going to fall to that as we failed 2020 because of that. And I brought this point up earlier today, and I said, well, I don't think it's all that. There's been a level of failure for a lot of businesses and a lot of individuals. But because things were moving so well, because stuff was going so well, because you could get away with some more mistakes, you didn't really realize how failing you were doing. And I'm going to really hone this in on the digital side of things, right? The digital online side of things. I know personally a lot of friends that their business, they didn't really need to do a lot of marketing. They didn't really need to spend a lot of time online prior to 2020. Things were kind of going smooth. They were able to just generate business because of what was established, because of what was out there, because of the other process. They relied on other forms, whether that be live events, whether that be more trade show, whether that be more personalized meetings, whether that was, a ton of word of mouth type stuff, or just being out and about. I have one client actually that absolutely loved to just go and walk into their, kind of ideal person's business and say, hey, let's talk about how we can help you out. Well, when things got shut down and they couldn't do those, and they couldn't go to those events, they couldn't be part of those, trade show type things. They couldn't do that style of cold outreach and cold prospecting. All of a sudden they were like, brakes are on. Now, some would say that's because of what went down, that's why they're failed. And that's why all of that stuff was failing. But there's this other side of the coin that was, if they had a focus, if there was an element of their business that was tuned in online with a solid online presence and with a correct online presence, then they would have not kind of been left cold turkey, right? It's kind of like, I go to football all the time. I love kind of translating business to a football game, and the marketing end of it is the dating side of life. If we want to bring in some different life pieces to it. And at the early set of 2020, it was basically most people could kind of attack the year kind of as the favorite, right? They were the more dominant football team. They knew that they had the better players. They had the better game plan. They were more dedicated. They were more focused, all of these type of things. And they stepped on the field, and 2020 got going, and the game started rolling. And all of a sudden, the opponent that they kind of underprepared for, because they just never thought that it would actually get them. They didn't get the right game plan built out because they just never thought that, we're too good, right? We got it rolling too well here. All of a sudden, they're back on their heels, right? It's like that opponent showed up, the underdog to the game, and just came out of nowhere and put them into a left freaking hook. And I was talking to a lot of our clients on Monday night about this. I'm a big diehard college fan, love Ohio State. And we were watching, I was watching the Ohio State game on Saturday, the championship game, and it was a perfect case of what I just talked about. They, hands down, are the favorite of the Big Ten. They should have been just all over top of Northwestern, and there shouldn't have even been a scenario there, right? A question in it. And the first quarter, it was like somebody walked over and just popped them square in the nose and said, you best watch out because we're here to play. And Ohio State, on the defensive side and on the offensive side, they were caught off guard. And immediately it was like, that's 2020. That was 2020 to a lot of businesses. Everything shut down, and it was like, we're here to play. And if you want to keep playing this game this year, you better figure out a different game plan. And for a lot of companies, that was all of a sudden the screeching rush, right? It was like they just ran to figure out, how do we get more online? How do we do things more online? How do we convert more into more of an e-com type platform? If we've got product type basis, we can't sell it in the store, stores locked down, got to be able to sell this thing online. If I'm a more service-based thing, I can't do some of the other kind of marketing outreach programs or some of the prospecting, but I got to figure out how do I drive the traffic online to the website. And everybody went into this frenzy. And if you haven't been tuning in over the last couple episodes, episodes 2 through 5, Roger and I broke down what we call our 7-step process to an ultimate online presence. I encourage you guys, go back and rewatch, re-listen to episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5 in sequence to really understand the foundational core steps that it's going to take to build up that ultimate online presence. We gave a bunch of free tools and resources away in those episodes. You guys can go and check those out. Just jump on topresultsconsulting.com, head over to the WebBuzz section, and you'll see all of them on there. You can click on them. You can read some of the descriptions. There's avatar worksheets. There's SEO type worksheets. There's silo structure worksheets, a bunch of stuff that we gave away on those episodes for free that you can go and just download and get. But that's the core, right? That's the core foundation. And that's where it's all going to start is understanding the different components that we broke down in those episodes to be able to put together a true online presence. But the bigger question is why? Why do we need to do this? And I heard somebody say this the other day. I was on a sales call. I was talking to a soon-to-be client of ours, and we were discussing some stuff. And they were like, yeah, I was just at this event, and the event organizer, quote unquote guru from the stage, basically was saying, you don't need to focus on websites anymore. It's all about social platforms over here. That's all we care about now is just social platforms. Get good at that and you'll be fine in business. And I started laughing when I heard this, because at the end of the day, the only piece of real estate that you own in your business is the data that you're able to pull in. And you can't pull in too much data when you're doing it on somebody else's platform, aka a social platform. Having the website is more than just to be able to say you got a website. There's a lot of other tools in it. And why do we need to shift that way and focus? It's obvious. More and more and more are going online. When I say that, I'm talking about the prospects, the avatars, the individuals that you are trying to do business with. We are, as a human being, as a consumer basis, we are more tuned in, thanks to what's gone on this year, to how quickly, how easily it is to just reach over, grab the tablet. And I see some of you guys are on. I see some of the comments coming in. Feel free to throw some more. If you got comments about what I'm saying, throw it in there, chime in. Absolutely. I'd love to see it. Throw it up on the screen. We'll kind of break it down. If you got some questions around it, throw in some questions in there as well. I'd love to break those down. But we're so quick to grab the tablet, jump on the computer, yell out to that voice activated device that's kind of sitting right over here on the shelf there. Right. And ask the question, hey, blah, tell me this, or hey, what is this? Or go to Amazon and order this. Right. We're so quick to doing it now that if you are a business going into 2021 and you don't have a component of your business to where people can instantly get there, get to your site, dig in, find more, learn more about your business as far as the service, if it's a service base, learn more about the product. I'm not talking just have an ability to buy a product, but you better have some information, some descriptions, some details out there, because if you don't, your competition is, and that person is going to jump pretty quick from one platform to the other, aka from you to your competition. Why? Because everybody is going online, and it's quick, it's easy, it's convenient, it's not as scary. I can go to somebody's website today and do enough research, if they've got the right information on there, to make a decision. I don't have to worry about somebody forcing me and pushing me to get on a sales call, and that's not the only way that I'm going to get the answers. I'll be honest. I'm the first one. If I get onto a site and there's barely any information whatsoever, it's like, I'm not interested. I might be interested in the service or the product, but I'm not interested from that person because I've got some questions and I don't want to deal. My life's too busy, right? We got too much going on. That's why we want to be online, is because it's quick and it's simple and it's effective for it. So where does that lead us? Well, that leads us into this methodology that Top Results Consulting, we've really kind of wrapped our minds around it all this year. We completely restructured, rebuilt a lot of the way that we do our business and the way that we help our clients build out and run their business around a methodology that actually comes, I can't take credit from it. The methodology comes from HubSpot. If you don't know what HubSpot is, phenomenal CRM platform. So hands down, it is the platform that helps power and run everything that we do at Top Results and a number of our clients as well. But their methodology is known as the inbound methodology. And there's a huge difference between inbound and outbound, the traditional type of marketing versus the more current level of marketing. And inbound is really a kind of a method. It's a methodology, but it's a structure. It's a structure on how you are going to operate. And it's really, at the end of the day, to keep this simple. And we can go a lot deeper into this. Maybe on some future episodes, we'll break components down of it. But to keep the inbound methodology simple, it is really finding a way to meet your business with the prospect with the proper information at the exact moment that they want it. You see, inbound is like a magnet. And as we move into 2021, our business needs to be a magnet pulling the eyeballs in, pulling the attention towards us, vice shoving our message out, vice forcing our message onto others. And here's why. Everybody knows that traditional outpush, hard sale, right? Hard marketing piece of things. They want to know what they want to know, not what you want them to know. They want to be able to get the information that they want at the moment that they want. And the inbound methodology is really bringing that full circle. Now, with that, the inbound methodology is also bringing in this concept and this idea that your online side, right? I'm going to keep it to the online. It fits every area of it. But your online side is not a funnel, the old school kind of quote unquote guru taught funnel, pump a bunch of interest and opportunities into the top end of it. Bunch of crap's going to fall out throughout the process. And what you're left with at the bottom of the funnel when it comes out is just a bunch of sales and happy, clients, happy people that bought from you or did business with you. The idea behind the inbound side is you're actually a flywheel. You're actually this ever-flowing flywheel. And why the flywheel methodology makes more sense when we look at our online side, vice just having a sales funnel kind of process online, get them to this page, check them over to this page, move them to this page, and then boom, we're done with them, is in a flywheel methodology, the individual becomes the center. They become the center, and your attract and engage phase feed that center. It's all focused in on them. We can attract and bring them in. We can engage and they stay at the center of it, right? We're kind of attracting new ones in there. That's their focus. The engage, we're really engaging on them. That's the focus. And as they become delighted, in this case, as they become happy with us, they've done business with us, they fall in love with the product. They're a client, they fall in love with your service. They hire you for a specific service. If you're more of like a contractor or plumber, electrician, these type of things, a dog walker, these type of, they're happy and they're pleased with what you're doing. They get delighted. What do? They run around and spread that excitement, and they actually push prospects. They push enough people into the attract end of things, which is speeding up the flywheel. It's just moving the flywheel faster. So as you look at online going into 2021, you really want to start to look at taking all the stuff that we talked about in episodes 2 through 5, the really solid core foundation of a ultimate kind of dominating online presence so that you show up in front of the right person. But now it's next steps. We've got them to the site. Now we got to start thinking about what is on that website, what is on our online site. How are we blending our social media into our website? What information is going to be gated? What information is not going to be gated? When I get that person onto my website, what's the user experience like? Because I'm telling you, in 2021, there's no secret. They are spending more time on websites that provide value. And it's not just one and done. They're not just coming there that one time. So the idea of that old funnel where I got to try to long form it out, sell the crap out of them on that one page to hopefully get them to opt in or do whatever my next step is to then get them over to this page so I can try like crazy to upsell them here. Because if they leave, the chances are I'm not going to get them back. That methodology doesn't work anymore. That methodology is what's going to start to go away, right? It's already going away, but it's going to go away even more because more and more people are coming back to the brand. They're coming back to the brand that they're building the know, like, and trust factor with. And at some point, there is a piece where the funnel and kind of element of it makes sense, but it's not the focus of I want to drive all my traffic to the funnel. So if you go back to, I believe it was episode number 4, where Roger was really breaking down the silo end of things. And if you weren't on that episode, we gave away a free silo worksheet that'll help you kind of structure and craft what I'm about to help kind of break down here a little bit deeper. We're just going to kind of highlight what Roger talked about, but take it next steps here. You can just head over to topresultsconsulting.com/silo to get yourself a copy of that silo worksheet. But when you look at your silo, you've got to look at it from the bottom up. When we build the silo, we got to build top down because we got to understand what's the pillar page. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's why you want to go back and listen to the episode where Roger breaks this down really detailed. But we got to start with what's the pillar page. And then we got to find out what's the supporting kind of categories underneath that, or kind of the supporting elements of it. But then we get down to this meat and potatoes, the part that I called on that episode, the ammunition. I look at the website's like a very high caliber, super bad mamma jamma 50 caliber type machine gun. The problem is most of your websites are just a fancy looking 50 caliber machine gun, and you forgot to put the ammo. You have no ammo can sitting there ready to get fed into it to be able to really put some rounds downrange. And in the website side of things, that ammo is the blogs. That ammo is the content, whether that be content going to the social platforms that are pushing them back and getting them over here, whether that be blog articles that go, whether that be a multi-prong approach. We talk about this a lot with our clients. How do you take a single piece of this ammunition, right? A single topic, and get enough stuff going out there, make enough noise all over the internet around it that eventually drives it back, because at the end of the day, everything should be on your website, getting them there. And this is where I relate it to the dating side of the world. When I meet somebody for the very first time and I'm getting to talk with them and getting to know them, that's the awareness phase, right? And I'm attracting them in to want to talk more to me. They're attracting me into them to want to continue that discussion. The engagement phase of the dating relationship is them and I, maybe going and getting coffee, or going to have dinner, or going for lunch, or whatever the case is, going and spending some time together. We're engaging that piece of it, right? On our website, them engaging is kind of reading whatever I put out today. They started following me on social. They found my website. They noticed that I put out content every week. So they start tuning in every single week, maybe not on the exact moments, just like this. We're live right now. Not everybody watches it live. We got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that watch these later, whether that be on YouTube or listen to it on one of the audio only podcasts, on Spotify and iTunes and Google podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But they know that it's there, so they're engaging. They're coming back. They're listening to that stuff. They're reading the different blog articles. So when you create enough out of that one topic, perfect example, this episode right here, all of our episodes, It's on YouTube. It's a live video stream right now out to YouTube and Facebook and a number of other channels. And when it's done, it's recorded, then it's chopped up and it's thrown onto YouTube as a actual YouTube video on our channel. The audio is stripped out and it's used on a podcast. That podcast goes out to 5 different platforms. There's a blog that gets written around this, right? A little bit of a detailed set of information, content, verbiage, stuff that Google and the algorithm, that kind of stuff can pick up on it. And that gets created and thrown up to our website. And why is all of this happening? Because at the end of the day, people are out there on multiple different channels, multiple different places, picking this stuff up and watching and listening or reading or whatever the case. And the inbound methodology is all of it is pointing back somewhere, whether it be to the next episode, whether it be to some sort of a resource, whether they start to realize, hey, I really like what Shawn and Roger are talking about. I want to dig a little deeper into this. They get deeper into our website, right? That's the idea of a magnetized inbound pool. And as we move into 2021, that is the direction online is going. It's no longer just have a website. If somebody told you that, hey, just have a website and they'll come, ask them to climb out of the early 2000s and get ready for the fact that we're, in 2020 going into 2021, things are a little bit different. If somebody's telling you all you need is social media, again, ask them to crawl out of whatever bubble, whatever hole they're in, and come to the fact that we're going into 2021. Social's good. There's an element, but it's not the be all end all. YouTube's good. Just to have a YouTube channel. It's good. There's some power. You can do some stuff. It's not the be all end all. Podcasts, audio, they're good. Not the be all end all. To make it work right, you've got to have all these different components, and it all has to cycle itself back in at some point to the website. And the website turns itself now into basically your entire brochure, your entire message, every bit of information that you would want to say to somebody about your business and about how you help and about your products and about your services, and just replace me and you sitting down talking face to face, or me and you at an event and me from a stage talking to you. That type of stuff can't happen right now. And I don't think it's going to happen again for quite some time. And I think even when it does start happening, there's going to be a shift. There's going to be a change. It's not going to be the same as what it was, because people are starting to realize they don't need to necessarily spend thousands of dollars to go to an event to gather information, or go to thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to go to a trade show or to some sort of business fair or something like that to get it, because they can do it from the comfort of their own home. They can do it from their couch. They can grab themselves their laptop and go, yes, I can make this happen right now, right here. And that's the big piece. So as we here at Top Results Consulting, Roger and myself and the whole WebBuzz podcast team, as we roll into 2021, these are the elements that we're going to start to break down even deeper. We set you guys up. Episodes 2 through 5. Go back, listen, watch, check them out. Understand the core foundation, the core fundamentals of a ultimate online presence. When you've got that piece dialed in, and if you're looking at it, if you go back and listen to those episodes and you're saying, I got a tiny bit of it, or I got a little bit of it, or I'm missing a piece or two, then give us a call, reach out, check us out, go to our website, dial in a little bit more information. Maybe it'll kind of help clear up that question, or hit us up, let us know. Touch base, whatever the case, so that we can help get at least the foundation piece in place. I can't express that enough. A lot of people know me through the real estate side. You guys know that I've done a ton in the real estate investing world and build and these type of things. And at the end of the day, you can't build a house, you can't build a building, you can't build whatever, a restaurant, anything, unless you've got a solid foundation to it. And a lot of times we build things and we know that maybe the person's going to add on or upgrade or do certain things. So we might prep, right? Or if I was going to build something new and I knew down the road I was going to add something or put a second story or bring in a bunch of additional pools and spas and all this other stuff, I might do more to, let's say, the electrical. I'll bring in a bigger panel. I'll bring in a bigger service line. I'll put a bigger panel in. I'll put extra circuits in, whatever the case, run additional wires and that kind of stuff. I'm going to pre-plan for it. The website end of it, the online presence side is the same. We want to set you guys up or get you set up. If you want to come through us to do it, or you just want to go out and do it on your own, we've given you a lot of the foundational pieces in episodes 2 through 5 to get to that point. Because I can't emphasize enough, come 2021, the competition is going to start to run away. Those that focus on this and do this, those that pay attention more to the inbound methodology, that really dial in and get away from the traditional, hey, I do this, hey, come to me, hey, blah, 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 forcing out a bunch of direct mail or postcards or a bunch of trash mail hitting mailboxes and billboards and signage, or trying to suck people into large events and these type of things, depending on what your business is. Those that realize that those models, right? Those, as I call them, tactics, not that they are not going to work anymore. They're just not going to work to the level that they were before, that you're going to need this other side over here where it's more of an organic, natural intake of it. They will be the ones that succeed. And the really cool thing is, we're preaching and saying this, when I say we, Roger and I, from firsthand experience, firsthand knowledge. It is why 2020 turned out to be such a great year for us at Top Results Consulting, and why we were able to pivot and shift so quickly throughout the course of the year, because we didn't pigeonhole ourselves into some of these pieces. So we've seen it. We've seen it firsthand, and we're continuing to see it. And one of the favorite elements of it, it was a lot of work at the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's one of the things we love doing here, is just we're dropping truth bombs and dropping massive gold bars. Well, a gold bar that I'm going to throw at you right now is, it was not easy, and it's still not easy. It's still a work in progress. It's still something that we strive every single day and week internally with the team, is how do we do more? How do we provide more? How do we get more information, more content, more elements, more pieces out there for people to become aware with, engage with, and end up delighted around, so that they can then go and share and get other people engaging and attracting them and then delighting them, and so on and so forth. But the cool end of that is, as it spins, that flywheel, the momentum keeps building. And when the flywheel, this is the difference between that old traditional funnel side that I just talked about and the more flywheel side. As the flywheel starts to spin and momentum starts to pick up, it just keeps spinning. It's like the game, it's like the big wheel at Wheel of Fortune. And when they spin it, and it just starts going and going and going, but it just never stops. There's no weights. There's no counterbalance. There's no negative force against it. And we'll talk a little bit about what is that negative force that could slow it down and stop it, right? But if you do it right, that thing will just spin and spin and spin, and it never stops. It just keeps spinning and spinning. Before you know it, it's spinning so fast that you're going, how are we attracting new people? How is business starting to happen? How are all these people coming through our website and doing all these things and opting into these forums and talking and reaching out and all this stuff when I've hardly done anything? I've sat back all week. I've hardly even put any effort into this, and boom, it's happening. That's when you know you've got an inbound methodology working pretty solid. That's when you know that your online presence is getting dialed in. And that's where we're going to take you guys. That's what we're getting deep into. So we'll probably pick it up and kind of kick it off and get a little started next week when Roger gets back and we start to break down a little bit deeper into these elements. But as we wrap down 2020, this is a big thing that you should focus on over the next couple weeks. Got about a week and a half before we hit 2021. And I hate to break it to you, but if you haven't been thinking about it, you're already behind the curve. You're already behind the process. And you're going to be playing catch up, because I know a lot of our clients are dialed in for 2021. They know what they're doing. They've got their focus. They've got their goals set. They've got everything built out. They know what they're going to execute on. They know what their game plan is come January, and it's off to the races. And they're going to be that underdog that kind of comes out and smacks some of the bigger competition that wasn't paying attention or wasn't moving as quick because they didn't put as much priority on to it. So I got about a week and a half. Start thinking about it. Take a look at your own site. Go through your website as if you were the user, as if you were your own client, your own prospect. And if you get confused, if you feel like it's clunky, if you're unsure of how that process would feel to them, then it's highlighting. It's kind of what I talked about earlier, that 2020 didn't necessarily cause the failure. The failure was already there. A lot of people were already hurting in the space. 2020 was that ginormous spotlight, the big old freaking yellow highlighter that kind of emphasized, accented, made it stand out, kind of put the pain in front of a lot of people. And that's a telltale sign right there. Go through your stuff. And if you feel like it's kind of not a lot of information, kind of says the exact same thing that everybody in your business, everybody in your niche, all your competition says. Heck, one thing we've been seeing a lot, you literally got the exact same website. Looks the same, smells the same pictures, same content, same color scheme. The only thing that's different is maybe a logo and a couple names and phone numbers because they put your name and phone number on it. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You're going to be left out there, and it's nothing that we don't say it as a negative thing, even though it is negative, but we're not saying it from a too negative of an approach here. It's just something that should turn on the light bulb. It's the highlighter that's out there right now and the spotlight that's on it. And it's just up to you to say, I see it and I got to fix that. If I want to make 2021 better, if I want to get somewhere different, if I want to grow and scale, if I want to take, if I would just want to be able to win the year and get through 2021 and not have the bumps and the bruises and the skin elbows and knees that I had in 2020, I've got to dial that in and I've got to fix it. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up a little bit early, keeping this one on the shorter side, running solo today. Again, for everybody that was out there watching live, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the support. We'll probably talk a little bit more next week just about some of the things that are coming also in 2021, what to expect with the WebBuzz podcast, what to expect with Top Results, some of the things. We got some really cool stuff in the works. We got some new services coming out, new ways of supporting and helping, better ways of bringing everything together with you guys and really support and give as much as we can. But we do appreciate each and every one of you guys. We support you, and we love that you guys continually, week after week, those that show up, whether it be live, watch it later, listen to it, whatever the case. Thank you for supporting us. It's what fires myself and Roger up to keep coming back every single week and stay committed to this and launch this and bring out a podcast, a live stream, a feed that will bring value. It will bring value. It'll give you something to actually learn from, take action on, and do. So we're doing that part. We're bringing it all. We're dropping it. We're bringing in the gold bars and throwing them down for you guys. It's up to you to pick up the gold bars, go cash that in, and make some money on it and make it happen. So again, from all of us here at Top Results Consulting and the WebBuzz podcast, we wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, a safe holiday season. If you're in an area where you're able to actually spend some time with some family, travel, whatnot, get around each other, enjoy it, give each other an extra little hug. If you're in an area where maybe you can't, do your best, video chat, phone call, whatever you can. Just know we'll eventually get through all of that craziness in there, and but make it a good one. But more importantly, relax a little bit, recover, treat yourself, celebrate, enjoy, and get ready to make 2021 a much better year. Crush it all the way around. And as I always say, until next time, here's to your success. We'll see you guys later.